Hi retro fans, today we are building an around the year 2001-2002 PC build. Obviously I choose the fastest possible. This is a socket 370 board with a Pentium 3 1400 MHz. It's a Tualatin core, which was the end of the Pentium 3 era. Really fast. The CPUs are quite searched for. They go around 20 to 25 euros, depending if it's a professional seller or somebody who has no clue what he's selling. This board is a gigabyte board, a GA6 VTXE to be exact. Gigabyte also had a similar board with a dual processor socket, but without an AGP slot. It had an integrated AGP. This one has an AGP slot, an universal slot, so we can use 1.5 and 3.3 volt AGP graphics cards, 3 SD RAM slots, 5 PCIs, and one of the PCIs is shared with an ISA slot, so you can still use an old ISA card if you prefer, or more modern already PCI card. I'm using this card as a graphics card. It's a GeForce 3. This is an Asus card, an 8200, 64 megabytes of video RAM, revision 1.04. I don't know if this is the last one, if it's a good one or whatever. It has a standard VGA output, besides a composite out, which is not that great, an S-video out, which is already better. What is the other one? The S-video in. This is more rare on graphics cards, and the VR out is not really interesting for our build. This card is in good shape. The fan does not make a lot of noise. I tested the card before in the PC I got, which I found it. We are gonna clean the card a bit. The fan is a bit dirty, there's a lot of dust around it. Although it's a 2001 build, I'm gonna use a SD card adapter to install Windows 2000 on it, together with some 4GB SD card, and as a second drive, a Death Star, IBM Death Star 61GB from November 2002. This is more or less period accurate. I think this one makes some noise because they were really noisy at the time. As this board has no onboard audio, we are also using some cool audio card. I have a dusty Sound Blaster Live here, CT4760. It's a bit, rusty or so. It's quite dusty, a bit dirty, with some alien stuff on it. And what is cool, I also got the live drive, to be exact, the live drive 2, that matches the card, plus the cable. The cable is not a standard IDE cable, it has some notch here. I guess you can also use an IDE cable, I'm not sure of the pinout. I think it's the same and you can use an IDE cable, but somebody has to confirm that. Some additional stuff we use are a LAN card, 100 megabit, 3-com, parallel tasking 2. I hope it's working, I have not tested it yet. Windows 2000 Professional as an OS, bling bling, original CD. A dusty Alps floppy drive. And a not so period correct Samsung DVD drive. This is a really common drive, SD616 from 2002, so more or less correct. Let's start by removing the heatsink. It's a very small one. I hope that it's powerful enough, we will see. This one seems... there was some kind of heatsink, like this heat tape on it. What is it called? Yeah, at least this one is not cooling a lot anymore. So let's remove the rest of the thermal paste. I use some Caramba for it. It's something like WD-40, that classic multifunction oil. Here you can see what it is exactly. 1400 MHz, 512K of cache, 133 FSP and 1.45 volts. To be exact, it's a Pentium 3 SL6BY. Wow. I'm going to use some fresh thermal compound. This one is from Cooler Master. It was the first one I had lying around. It will do the job. I forgot that we also need some RAM. This board supports up to 1.5 gigabyte of RAM. SD RAM, PC1C3, that's a lot. We won't ever need that much of RAM, but let's see what we have. $512, nice. And another one. We will test these. These RAM sticks work, so we have tested them before. We also need some power supply. I've bought like 10 of these. I don't know if they are old new stock. They have the small ATX connector with the extension for the new ATX standard. They also have some SATA ports. We do not use them. For newer system, the P4 power. And yeah, only 2 Molex connectors and a disk drive connector. I also bought some Y cable splitters, so that's not a problem. This one has been used. I can see this. It's some dust in there, but it will be enough to just test the board for the moment, because also I had some cases. Okay, let's fire it up. Screen is on. Keyboard is connected. Everything's running, the screen is turning on. Let's hit delete to enter the BIOS directly. Pentium 3 1.4, let's break it. 1 GB of RAM detected, 1.4 GHz, really nice. My cable of the screen has kind of a problem. So I must check some bad, CMOS settings wrong. I probably have to change the battery too. Running at 36 degrees or 96 Fahrenheit. 21 on the chipset. The chipset has no cooler on it. The north bridge has no cooler, and the south bridge has no cooler as well. V-core is about right. the CPU runs at 1.45, 1.44 is okay. We are in the BIOS, there's no load on it. We'll have to check the voltages with some load. That power supply here doesn't look that Chinese. It's pretty quiet. I don't know if it's really stable. We have to test it. The battery is dead. I have to replace the battery. And this will be the case. I do not have any more spare Altar, so I bought new ones. Some Aerocool thingy. Plastic, plastic, plastic. Yep. It weighs about like 5 kilos or 2 or whatever. Definitely really a cheapo case. I do wanted some with a window in it, but I think I'm gonna mod these and add a window in it. Yeah, like 2005 style, but we're not building a 2005 PC here. As I will have a project on building 4 or 5 PCs from around the year 2001, I bought 4 or 5 cases and they were really cheap, but I guess they will do the job. You not have to be beauties or really functional. Yeah. Yeah, it's not bending. Not that bad already. Oh. Some additional stuff. Something like a manual. USB headers and so. Nice. An integrated fan. In the front and in the back. Yeah, that's cool. Enough base, 3, 6, 7 base. Expansion slots. It's a case, it will do the job. Let's mount. Okay, let's start the PC. What is probably not working is the second hard disk drive, because I used it as a slave on the flash card. Usually what I had in my other PCs was that the flash card had to be alone on an IDE cable. I've never managed to add a second drive onto it. We will see now. Oh, we detected it, that's nice. I finally did not install a floppy drive because I need the floppy power connector to make sure the live drive is powered, because it also needs a floppy power cable. I will update the BIOS probably using a USB floppy and hopefully it works, or in Windows, or using another method. Yeah. So let's install Windows 2000. So we are connected to Windows. Windows started up. We already have a network icon here, so I guess a lot of drives are automatically detected. Only the graphics card. Oh, even though the assembler's alive, nice. Legacy audio drivers. Yeah, not sure if these are really good drivers. Tricom Etherlink, nice, network card. Write caching enabled. And the IBM drive still has to be formatted. Okay, let's install some drivers. We need the VIA Hyperion drivers and some NVIDIA GeForce drivers for the graphics card. That says 3D Mark 99. Everything default. FPS stable. I set the screen to 100 Hz, so this should be the maximum. That's it, nearly 10,000 marks. Okay, 9,200. 20,000 marks for the CPU. That's really great.